All right. Welcome back to the show, guys. Just doing another one. I know they're getting a little bit frequent, these driving ones, but I wanted to do another one today. Again, I'm stuck in traffic, same stupid traffic I've been stuck in for the past few days. But anyway, what I want to talk about is obviously I've kind of made it kind of a point here, like, sharing the chart with you guys. And I really want you guys to see now that chart that I shared. I'm not sure if you could do anything, but I'm sure you can see my trend lines. And I've just put a brand new trend line as well, just to kind of give you a rough idea is if this market is trending and why I'm so super bullish and what do I see, right? So obviously we were expecting these, lower bottoms, right? So, to see if we can go to the 33K, test it again. We didn't. And when we have a situation like this, it puts us in a bit of a dilemma, because it's kind of unpredictable. It's like, okay, is this market going to go up, or is this market going to collapse and go back to the whatever K, right? So when it comes to a situation like this, I personally, and this is not everybody, I'm not going to talk for anybody, but I'm going to talk about myself. What I personally do is I usually, if I had buy orders at specific price points, then I hold on to those. And I just end up setting up some new buy orders. And I'm talking about spot buys, by the way, guys. I'm not even talking about trade. Trade is a whole different story. I don't want to trade a market that is highly volatile, that's not giving me any indication whether it's going to go up or down. And I'll explain that in a bit for you. So when I'm looking at my chart, and the link will be below the video as well, plus the link is already in Discord as well. If you look at it on a weekly, and it's set up on a weekly as well, so I'm not looking at these daily trends or anything like this, because the daily, yeah, maybe 1 day bullish, 2 days bearish, or 2 days bullish, 1 day bearish, it doesn't make a difference, right? It's not giving me the pattern I want. Of course, each candle has to invalidate the previous candle, but that's a shorter time frame. That's not really significant data. Now, when I'm looking at the significant data, I'm talking about weekly, and I see some beautiful data here, all the way from 28K, right? So from 28K, if you start looking at these candles and you start looking at this trend line, you can see from 28K, it's been creeping up. Every time we actually hit the bottom, we've been always doing a slightly higher low than anything, and that's a trend, right? That's 100% trend. You can't deny this. I mean, it's the chart telling us this, right? I could probably flip the camera and show you while I'm stopped to show you. I'm looking at the chart right now while I'm driving, but this is what I'm seeing. So these are the points. This is the line I'm talking about, right? If you look carefully, way back from here, all the way up here, we've been out, right? And that's what I'm picking on. So I'm like looking at this and I'm saying, okay, this is what's happened. So far, everything looks very good to me. On the weekly, I'm seeing these higher lows, which is really good. The particular candle we're in now, we can technically treat it as the bottom of the trend, but it looks like a doji, right? It actually looks like a dragonfly doji. I'm not even joking, right? Some people would like to call it a hammer, but it's not a hammer because the body is not big enough. But definitely looks like a doji to me, right? And when you see something like this, it's usually a bullish sign. So that's what I'm looking at, but it doesn't make me go super bullish all of a sudden that, okay, I'm going to go sell my house. No, it doesn't, right? What I'm seeing is, if you look on the chart yourself as well, is I drew a line, and that was a resistance line, right? That 39 to 40K resistance line. And we're there, we're on the bottom. We've literally come back to that. And we've done that over and over again. So we've come back to this and we're testing this line right now. We've got to break through this line. But if we break through this line, guys, it's not over. And this is the part that I really wanted to make this video about. Until 46,111, right? 46,111, there's a specific line already drawn there. Until that level, we're nowhere. We're still kind of in that range. So that 36 to 46K range, we're still within that range. So yes, we've hit a little bit of a resistance, but that resistance, and it's becoming a stronger resistance, by the way, we hope we can flip over that and finally make this as a support, right? Which is good. However, I want to warn you guys, if it doesn't hold support, then we could see, and if we continue this pattern, that is, right, we could see the next bounce bring us to the 35K on the worst case scenario. Of course, 36 would be a little bit better. Now, what if somebody is looking at the market trend lines, and if the trend is telling you, say for example 29K, it's wise to have a buy order around the 30K. Always give it that $500, $1,000. Why? Because BTC is such a big crypto that $1,000 is literally nothing to it, right? So that's how you got to look at it. It's like it's very small percentage when it comes to that kind of terms. So I just want you all to kind of focus on what's really going on. As I said, this trend to be valid, right? So right now we're just, you know, messing around with the trend, we're messing with the downward trend, and we are forming this upward trend line, right? So, you know, I know this is kind of confusing. It's like, okay, we're going down or are we going up? We've been going down and we are trying to go up, but we haven't formed the body, the structure that we want yet. And for us to have a full confirmation that we're in the bullish territory, 100% bullish territory, sell your house bullish territory, unfortunately, it's got to be the 46K. And this is one of the reasons why in the past few videos I've said, if you are not patient and you just want to jump in, then that would have been the time, right? Or even now is the time where you just jump in, but you have to have the mindset to be in it for a few years. If not, then, you know, it doesn't make any difference. Now, I know some of the brothers have been talking about MACD, this, that, yeah, moving average, you know, moving average, convergence, divergence, same thing. It's the same thing to do with RSI, stochastic RSI, it's the same thing. It's just put in a different way. They're using the same formulas anyway. So yes, I mean, when I'm looking at it, I'm seeing bearish control. We're coming out of the bearish territory. If this candle, this weekly candle continues to be bullish, at least for the next, until Sunday, right? Sunday midnight, when we reset the thing, and depends where we close, as long as we don't collapse again. So this is the key point here. As long as we don't collapse and create a bigger bearish body, right? So if the candle's red, that's fine. But if it's not a big body and it closes, it's actually very, very bullish. That's all I can say, right? However, I mean, on the flip side, if it then starts to become green within the next couple of days, and it's, you know, starts moving back up and creates a slightly bigger body than we have now, then that's a hammer, right? It's all bullish. Happy days to us. We, you know, this is giving us some sort of a confluence that yes, this market wants to trend up. But other than that, look, every other stuff, like when you look at the market yesterday, we dumped all the way down to 1.5 or 1. Close to 1.6 trillion dollars. We're currently sitting at 1.73 trillion dollars. Everything seems super solid to me. I don't see any issues here. Again, the alts have been pumping hard. I've seen some coins pump as high as, some coins that I'm holding actually pump as high as like 30, 33%, 40%. My advice to people would be, if you've bought something cheap recently in the discounts and you've made, you know, 10, 15, 20, 30%, take some chips off the table. At least you've got breathing space. At least you know that your money is not at risk. If you've made money, you got to take some profits out, right? So that's all I'm going to advise, take some profits. And of course, what I'm doing is I'm taking my profits out, I'm going into USDT, and from USDT, as soon as I get an opportunity, I'm actually throwing it back in to BTC. So that's what I'm doing. My strategy is all about accumulating more and more BTC, you know, as much as I can. And of course, I'm keeping a very, very close eye on Ethereum, Cardano, Solana, Crow, Crypto.com. I'm keeping a very close eye on those specific coins, including BNB as well. Actually, I didn't buy any BNB, but I'm waiting for BNB to kind of settle down and give me an indication. Actually, buy a Bitcoin to give me an indication that this is it, right? As soon as I get that indication, I'm going to jump into BNB as well. So that's what I want to say, guys. I'm going to jump on the motorway now. It's going to get really noisy. So yeah, I hope this video kind of helps you all. And like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you on another one very soon. And wish me luck on this journey. I'm going on a 100-mile drive. Let's see what happens. So other than that, like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you on another one very soon. Adios, my amigos.